So, back again in the studio with Aalish, Bridson. We are looking back at week 3 of the Newfield Netball League fixtures. Aalish, did any games on Sunday stand out to you? Were there any surprises? I spoke to Becky and she said it wasn't a massively surprising week for her from the games she saw, but what about you?
Yeah, so Blues had a free week this week, so it actually gave me the opportunity to get down and see some other games. So I started off down at the NSC watching Simcox Red versus Brown Crane Tomb Raiders. It was anticipated that Reds were going to win, and they did. They took the game and they led it the whole way. But Tomb Raiders throwing out some new combinations there. So Zoe Shimmons moved from Thompson to Tomb Raiders, adding some strength into the defence. Likewise, Simcox was short a few players this week, so we saw Becky Hempsel and Ellen Charmer having a go at shooting. Combinations we've not seen before, but seemed to work quite well, and definitely helped the Reds go on and get the win. Thompson 3 versus Castletown Pink were going on in the court next door. So flicking my head over, the game actually finished 30-all. Very closely contested the whole way through. I actually think it was a case of Thompson were leading up until the final quarter, and then Castletown managed to pull it back. They went up 2 in the final, and then Thompson pulled it back to level. But a game that was going goal for goal. Again, very tightly contested, and I'd actually have put Thompson 3 down to win that game before it was played, so I was shocked, and I'm sure probably some of the Thompson girls are as well, but massive credit to Castletown Pink there for pulling that one out the bag.
That sounds like a really exciting game. Just quickly, what does happen if teams draw during the league?
Yeah, so if teams draw, they both get 2 points each, and on the website it'll look like they've not played at all, neither go red or green, they just kind of sit there in like a null colour. But last year you'll find that they come out with a vengeance in the second half of the season to try and take the win. I remember Simcox Blue and Route 1 Connections, they ended up drawing both of their games against each other last year, which was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, you'll find teams come out with a fire in their belly the second half of the season to try and make the game theirs. But in terms of how it looks in the score, so it's 3 for a win, 2 for a draw, and 1 if you lose but get half points of the person that you've played against. Other games that I saw, so after the Reds, I went up to Bemmerhague School and saw Simcox Gold play Thompson 1. A game that started off quite close between the two of them. As they went into half time, there was 5 goals between them, Simcox trailing, going into the final quarter, Thompson leading by 3. So a game that I thought was going to be slightly closer, but actually in the final quarter, Thompson 1 had the fire in their bellies, and with a team that really wanted to win and just took it away. I think they won by 12 in the end. Absolutely ridiculous. Massive credit to the defence, massive credit to the attack for holding their own. Likewise, the people in the mid-court being able to feed that ball up and down into the circle. Devastating for Simcox, but they'll learn and build on that for next season. And another team I watched was Simcox Silver again this week. It was a week of Simcox teams that I went to watch, but went back down to the NSC to see Simcox, and they played against Absolute Scaffolding Red. Simcox took the game away from the start of it, which was anticipated. I think they'd played their strongest match the week before, so the girls really building confidence week on week, and it's really nice to see such a young team becoming so confident so early on in the season. Likewise, massive credit to Absolute. They had some young girls in that team as well, getting their their senior debut this year, so massive hats off to them. But yeah, most of the games kind of were played out like they were supposed to. No real surprises, really.
And looking ahead to week 4, what games are you most looking forward to this weekend, this Sunday?
This Sunday, so we've got Simcox Gold versus Simcox Red. I always think team versus club games are interesting to watch. There isn't that rivalry like there is, across other games in the season. So you may find that the Golds actually keep Reds a lot closer than most people will expect. That's because people try out new combinations and you don't tend to go as hard on your own team. It's more like a training match than anything else. So it'd be interesting to see kind of what the scoreline is there. Other games to watch, we've got Thompson 4 versus Absolute Scaffolding Red. They're quite closely pegged in the division. It'd be interesting to see who comes out on top there. Thompson 1 versus Ballarat. Thompson 1 on a winning streak from the week before. They came third in the Premier Division last year. So a team that's been kind of put high in the ranks this year. Some new combinations after losing a few girls to university. Likewise, Ballarat, a team that are vying for that Premier Division win.
Thompson 1 have actually got Anne-Marie, who's moved from Ballarat and Balla B.
Controversial.
I know. So that always makes things interesting.
Who else? Manx Gems Tanzanites versus Simcox White. Tanzanites are a new team to the Gems club. They've been doing quite well for a new team, new sets of combination. And Simcox White, I'd say they're quite fairly pegged teams. It'd be interesting to see who wins out of the two of those. But that's going on. That's at the NSC at 10 o'clock. Probably be a good game to go down and watch. We've got Simcox Blue versus Route 1 Connections. So like I said before, the teams that drew with each other twice
that's
last
gonna be
season.
good.
Yeah. Both teams, new combinations this year. They've got some new players. In Route 1, they've got Ashley Farah. Ashley Nicholson Farah, I think is her name. Not played in the Premier Division before. It's her first season, her first run out for Route 1 as well. Seems to be holding her own. So yeah, it would be interesting to see.
What time's that game?
That game it's at Castle Rushen this week, actually.
Oh no!
We're off down south. I think Castle Rushen 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So up nice and early to see that one. But hopefully it's not a draw this time and someone can actually pip their way to the finish.